Everybody's mind going into Thursday night's meeting between the Raptors and Spurs. How would San Antonio fans react to the return of Kawhi Leonard, who played 7 seasons in the silver and black, was twice an All-Star, twice a Defensive Player of the Year, and the Finals MVP in 2014? Would all those accomplishments outweigh the drama-filled, injury-marred season of a year ago, which ultimately led to Leonard getting his wish, and that was out of San Antonio, traded to Toronto with Danny Green in the DeMar DeRozan deal? As the two returned, Spurs head coach Greg Popovich said he hoped that kindness and respect would be shown.
The 6'6" guard from North Carolina, number 14, Danny Green. 6'7" forward from San Diego State, number 2, Kawhi Leonard. 6'9" forward from New Mexico.
So Danny Green got the better of that, and boy, they were booing him every time he touched the ball, and he scores the first bucket of the game, but that was the only time that Toronto would lead all night long.
Well, this was just all about the Spurs tonight. They played fantastic, and DeMar DeRozan was the best player in he was the best player in the world until James Harden started the second game. I mean, he was just phenomenal. He was so angry and upset about the trade out of Toronto. He played with great energy and vengeance.
I can't wait to see him play in Toronto.
That'll be February 22nd, and that'll be an emotional night for him. He had a triple-double tonight, the first one in 714 games in his NBA career.
Wow.
You know, he was playing with that what about me attitude. You know, the talk was about Kawhi and the Spurs tonight, but he was also a part of that trade.
Well, he has to be careful when he goes back to Toronto, though.
Why's that?
Well, because sometimes you can try too hard.
Yeah,
like tonight,
I believe that.
You believe that?
I see Leonard didn't like what was going on in that little bit.
Yeah, hey, man.
He's like, hey.
DeRozan and Lowry, old buddies. Here we go. And here's DeMar again.
Yeah, he would have changed the complexion of the game a little bit because he was able to create a
bully ball.
Come on, get that little fella down.
Bully ball.
You know, the Spurs are playing a lot better. I thought they'd be up in the top 3 or 4 in the West, but they are
Give him
playing
3 games.
So they had a great month of December. They were the best shooting team and the best three-point shooting team in the NBA in the month of December. There's DeRozan again, 67-51, the halftime score. Bryn Forbes.
Tell you what,
He shot the ball.
Who he played for, Ernie?
Oh, no doubt.
He's a Michigan State Spartan, and he plays for San Antonio.
Yeah, he shot.
Shout out Tom Izzo, hell of a coach up there.
No doubt. Here's a Kawhi Leonard highlight.
Give me that.
Oh, don't jump, young guy.
Leonard had 21,
You know,
8 out of
this
13
is actually, to
on the
me,
night.
one of those trades that actually helped both teams.
Sure. Bryn Forbes.
It's been a great trade for both guys.
Hey, Bryn Forbes again.
What's his name again?
The Bryn Forbes.
Okay.
And then Shaq says who he played for. And I say Michigan State.
I'm about to say it's a better trade for San Antonio because Popovich has got to
Wait, what do you mean a better trade?
What do you finish? Popovich is the guy that can get extra out of you. DeMar DeRozan was playing his best in Toronto, but Popovich can always take you to that next level.
Yeah, but what's this done for Toronto, man?
Yeah, but
Kawhi Leonard and Toronto.
Kawhi is at his max as being a great player. DeMar still has.
Oh my God, he at max?
No, meaning, I get that. I do agree with that. I agree with that.
Kenny.
I agree with that part of it. Not that there was a better trade, but I agree that Pop, look, DeMar DeRozan still has room to grow.
Thank you.
Yes.
And Pop can get that out of him.
Sure.
I don't know. He was at his max in Toronto, where with Kawhi Leonard, he was at his max when he was really at a San Antonio Spurs. He's not going to get better.
Why not? What do you mean he's not going to get better?
I don't think he's going to be a better player than he was. He was at his max as a best player.
Top 5 player, can't get any better.
Averaging career highs in points and
Thank
rebounds.
you.
He's maxed out.
No, he's not maxed out.
When we
So
saw him,
we've already seen the best of Kawhi Leonard?
no, we're saying
That's what you said.
He's continuing what he was doing.
Exactly.
DeMar DeRozan had room to grow.
Yes,
and
with Popovich,
he's saying
he will
Popovich
grow.
can bring that out.
Thank
I
you.
do agree with
Yeah,
that.
But we haven't seen all the best of Kawhi.
I think we've seen a consistent level of greatness with him. He was the second best player in the world before he got hurt. He's not going to be the first best player.
Thank you.
He's going to stay the second best player.
Thank you.
I'd like to hear from someone else at this point. That'd be Kristen Ledlow with the postgame interview.
talking to these damn idiots.
The reception you got, was that what you thought was coming?
Probably, but I mean, I embraced it and enjoyed the moment, and it's only going to get me better.
Were you disappointed by it at all, given your history here and everything that you guys accomplished as a team?
No, it wasn't. Media does a great job to stir people's minds and, influence them to think a certain way. So I already knew how that was going to be the way the media was.
I felt badly about it. Kawhi's a high character guy. We all make decisions in our lives, what we're going to do with our futures, and he has that same right as any of us. So I felt badly, in all honesty.
Did you feel badly about it, about the booing, or you said you expected it?
No, I didn't feel badly, but if I was a paying fan, that's probably what I would have done. I'm taking myself as a player out of the mix. I'm thinking as a fan. I root for the San Antonio Spurs. Here's a guy who doesn't want to be a Spur anymore. I respect what he did for the Spurs, but when he comes, I boo against the other team. He's on the other team now. And I would do that, and I would even, the way he left made it seem like he wasn't invested the way I would have been if I was a San Antonio Spur. So, yeah, of course he's going to get booed.
I don't even think it was that big of a deal. He got booed. DeMar DeRozan got some measure of respect. He played fantastic. But like I said earlier, the trade is good for both teams. Toronto's right there with Milwaukee. It's the best in the East. The Spurs, they got off to a slow start. They're playing well. DeMar's playing well. It's rarely the trades work out for both teams.
It happens. He was booed, but I guarantee he will never be forgotten.
Oh, no.
In the San Antonio hierarchy. So, got booed. He's a legend. Sign and respect, it happens. That's why I said it'll be hilarious. Bunch of ungrateful people forgetting who put them on the map.
It's hilarious.
They were actually on the map before.
Spurs.
And he put them back on the map.
Okay.
Spurs shot 55%. That's the high against Toronto this year.
We'll put you on the map.
Five straight home wins.
Take your glasses off. When I hit you now, I don't want no glass getting you out.
Antonio.
Okay.
I'll drop you like a bad habit.
Oh, man. What bad habit you ever dropped? That's what I would have done. Give me the one.
Thanks, Kenny.
Excellent point.
Can I
Thanks,
live?
Kenny.
I just want to ask you, have you ever dropped a bad
You've
habit?
always been my buddy.
I want to go to hell with. I want to go to hell where the rest of my friends gonna be.
Still to come on inside, we'll get a look at Chuck's Nuggets.
What'd you say, Chuck?
The rest of my friends gonna be in hell. I want to see them again.
Time deficit of the season for the 28-11 Toronto Raptors, who have gone to San Antonio and trail 67-51 as the former Raptor DeMar DeRozan. 19 points, 10 rebounds, 5 assists in the first half.
Oh, my goodness.
We welcome you to the American Express halftime report from Studio J here in Atlanta. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. And, of course, the story going into this game is Kawhi Leonard's return to San Antonio. Heard a lot of boos when he was introduced. Heard a lot of cheers for Danny Green. They are two of the American Express teammates we want to spotlight from the first 24 minutes. And Kawhi Leonard, 11 points, 5 out of 8. Danny Green has yet to connect. Scoreless, and DeMar DeRozan stealing the show. 19, 10.
Oh, my goodness.
And 5. Does that impress the Chuckster?
That is very impressive. That is some anger. He let Toronto know it. It's really an unfortunate situation because Kawhi's a great person and DeMar's a great person, but, this is a business. And it's unfortunate. But DeMar took it more personal than Kawhi.
First time in his career he's had a double-double in the first half.
First time?
In his.
That's amazing.
What do you make of what you watched there, big fella?
To add on to what Chuck is saying, the whole pregame, I know Kawhi's return to San Antonio. We're talking about Kawhi. We're talking about the business of basketball. We never mentioned DeMar DeRozan. And like Chuck said, he's letting Toronto know, hey, all that spiel about I'm the franchise player, you love me, you want me to stay, you traded me away. I'm going to show you that you guys made a mistake. And he's coming out playing with that extra spunk and that extra energy right here. The same, things he's doing in Toronto, that one-on-one basketball. But right now he's saying, guess what, Toronto? You guys made a mistake too. There's other guys you could have probably traded, like Kyle Lowry, but you want to get rid of me? This is what happens when you get rid of me. I'm going to give it to you tonight. And he's playing extra well. He's saying, what about me? He's letting everybody know, hey, I know Kawhi's returning, but I was dealt in this trade also. What about me?
7 out of 11 from the floor for DeRozan, who is shooting for the season 48%, his best mark since his rookie season of 2009-2010. So what about the Raptors in this one?
I watched the movie over break. What Much Ado About Nothing.
You watched that movie? That's an old movie.
It's an old movie. It just came on. I was watching. But if you're watching, you would go, what's so big about these Toronto Raptors if you haven't been watching over there? And so even in this blowout, I'm going to show you. Oh, I was waiting on you, Shaq. I was waiting on you. I'm going to show you what they really are on a consistent basis. So here you have DeMar DeRozan. See, you have 3 Toronto Raptors with eyes on the ball. This is what they've been all through the year. They've been a great defensive team, and they've been able to get things going and making you make tough and making decisions tougher. So now, don't give up on the play. And then they have so many weapons. Kawhi has the ball here, but they have playmakers. And here's one of them, Powell. He's come back into the lineup. Here's a guy who can make his own shot. This is what makes them good. Consistently, they have. Here's VanVleet, freeze it here. Instead of saying, where is Leonard? Where is Leonard? He's like, come get me. Forget Leonard. This is not my night. This is not his night. As the play develops, he comes off the pick and roll. This is what he has done consistently, and maybe not tonight. So this is what you're missing out on. And this is, I do Chuck think they're going to get back in. And this guy's played all-star-like. Freeze it here, finding Leonard now. He gets in the paint, draws 3 players, sock him, and he passes it out. And now that gives Leonard a little bit more space to create. They have 4 or 5 creators on their team when Kyle Lowry's there. And I think that they're going to still get back in the game because of these guys.
Kyle Lowry missing his 9th game in the last 10, number 2 man in assists in the league. By the way, this game will be single digits going to the 4th quarter. But go ahead.
Well, first of all, let me just say this, Ernie. Not so fast. You're wrong. Shout out Lee Corso. This game is going to be a blowout, but I still think Toronto, this is just one of those emotional games, Ernie.
But does the emotion of that whole day and everything wear off now that you got a half under your belts?
Yeah, but they're still down 20. That's the difference. So,
16.
Well, you know you do round up, fool.
Round up.
You do round up.
Right.
You do not round up.
But I'm saying they got such a big lead. I think the energy and the momentum will carry them to this win. But I still think Toronto is the team to beat in the Eastern Conference. Kenny's pitchers were great. I think they're the deepest team. They're right there with the Celtics. They just got better chemistry than the Celtics.
Are you sleeping on Milwaukee?
No, I'm not sleeping on Milwaukee. No, Milwaukee's right there in Philadelphia. There's
Milwaukee's
4.
number 1. What do you mean right there?
I'm just saying, there's 4 legitimate teams in the Eastern Conference.
Who's the best team in the East right now?
I'm gonna go with the Toronto Raptors.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I learned something good, Shaq. When you're really down 6, you're down 10.
That's exactly right. See, if you had went to class.
I didn't know. I didn't know I was down 10 when I was down 6.
If it weren't for basketball, you would be a dummy. But basketball saved you.
If you round up, Chuck, if you round up, what are you weighing right now?
Don't round up.
See.
So 260.
400.
So 260, you're really 300.
300 or 400?
400.
It's 300.
400.
Well, listen, Slim Slow. You better not be talking over there, Slim Slow.
My belly ain't over my belt like your belly is, buddy. Kenny, tell him, Kenny.
Oh, no.
I cannot.
Kenny.
Hey, Ernie, I'm not.
Yeah,
you
Kenny.
started 19.
Tell him, Kenny.